Rachel is my older sister. She's the oldest of 10, and Rachel and Lincoln did foster care for 3 or 4 years and fostered several different kids. They ultimately ended up adopting the last 3 placements the last 3 kids that were placed with them, and they're now part of the 6 kids that they have. And seeing that and being a part of that family, becoming an uncle and an aunt to those kids was very inspiring and motivational for us, just kind of seeing how that process unfolded. We knew we'd want to go through Buckner because that's who Rachel and Lincoln went through. Mm-hmm. And we saw the support system that they had there.
When the children come into the home, the trauma behaviors really surface, the hard spaces really come out, and those families need huge amounts of support. So in this situation, that support came built in. The Wingards and the Spraggans came into foster care as relatives who already were connected within their family group.
Nathan was more sure in the beginning that this was the route we were to take. He had a lot of direction from God in that, and I was more of like, okay. So it took a lot of extra prayer on my side and faith that this was the right step to take.
As we got into foster care, it was knowing that we had support and that they had our backs. Mm-hmm. You can't do this alone. You've got to have a support network.
Rachel has been an invaluable resource to me. Any time I would see a behavior, we don't have biological children, so any behavior that I was just like, is this normal? I don't know.
In the beginning, it was us just as a family asking God, what would he like to use us for? We prayed individually and together, but individually we were praying about fostering. And one day, I think we were on the way home from church, and I said, hey, I think we should look into fostering. And he was like, I've been praying about that too. I think you're right.
We actually asked God, or said to guys, like, we need these 3 things met before we can do this. Like, these are the things that are holding us back that we would need if this is what we need to be doing. Within 3 months, all 3 of those things were answered. Like, by no manipulation of what we could do, they were answered.
It's really hard to describe the impact that we're having on these girls because a lot of it's intangible. It's the little things.
We also see a big spiritual impact. These girls have said that they went to church before and that they believed in God, but since they've been with us, Savannah has accepted God into her heart and been saved and been baptized here.
We got a call for a 1-year-old baby girl. We have 3 boys biologically, and we were excited about the possibility of any girls coming into our life. Then we found out she had 2 older siblings. Her 2 older siblings were about 7 and 8, or 6 and 7.
6 and 7.
And we just started praying about it. We weren't interested in adopting them necessarily. We just wanted them all in the same foster home, so they could be together, because that's all they wanted after every single visit. We fasted and prayed, and eventually we felt prompted by God to go ahead and start looking into getting them all in our home.
I really want them to know that they're loved unconditionally, that no matter who they're with or what they do, they have a family, that we will always be their foster parents, even when they're 50 years old.